Welcome back. I'm Travis with Linux Academy. In this lesson, we're going to start working with the user instruction. This allows us to go and create a non-privileged user. Now, two things are going to happen when we do this. First off, when we go and connect to the container, it will be using this user. And any instructions we run after setting the user will be executed as that user. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by going and cding into the Docker images directory. We're going to create a new directory called non-privileged user. And then we're going to go and cd into it. Now go and create a new Docker file by executing vi dockerfile. The contents of this file can be found in the description of this video. We have a very simple Docker file. As always, we start off by using the from instruction, and we're using CentOS latest as the base image. Next, we have the run instruction. We're going to be executing a user add. We want to make sure that we set bin bash as the shell, and the user we're creating is cloud_user. And last of all, we are using the user instruction, and we're setting it to cloud user. The user instruction is going to set the name and optionally the user group to use when it's running the image. This means that the run, cmd, and entry point instructions that follow it will be executed as that user. Save and exit out of the file. Now we're going to go and execute a Docker image build. We're going to use the T flag to specify a tag. The name of the image is going to be CentOS 7 non-root, and the tag is going to be v1. Because the Docker file is in the current directory, we'll be ending this command with a period. Now we're going to go and create a container using the image we just created. Execute a Docker container run. Rather than running the container in the background, we want to run in the foreground, so we're going to be using the int flag. Name the container test build. Supply the name of the image we just built, which is CentOS 7/non-root, and then v1 for the tag. Use bin bash as the command. We have now logged in as the cloud user. Now, how do we access the container as root? I could try executing sudo su, but the sudo command is not available to us. I can try su-, but I don't have the password, so that's not going to work either. Okay, so let's go and exit the container. Now, if I go and execute a Docker container ls, you can see that the container has stopped. So let's go and start back up again. Now, there is a way for us to go and access the container as root. To do this, we're going to be executing a Docker container exec. And we can specify the user by using the u flag and then 0 because root is user 0. Use the int flag because we want to go and interact with the container. Specify the name, which is test build, and then the command bin bash. And as you can see, I am now root. Now let's go and look at a more practical example. We're going to start by cding back into the images directory. We're going to create a new directory called node non-privileged user, and then go and cd into it. We're going to go and create a new Docker file by executing vi dockerfile. So we should be pretty familiar with this file, so I'm not going to cover everything. But we'll start off by looking at the run instruction. We're going and adding a new user. We want to make sure that we're using bin bash and that the name of the user is node user. After that, we go and set node user as the user, and all these commands are now going to be executed as node user. We're going to go and copy the source. Oops, I forgot to go and check it out. We'll do that after creating this file. We're going to copy into home node user. We then go and set the working directory to home node user, and then we can go and execute our npm install, and finally, our command. Go and save the file and exit out. Before we can go and execute the build, we need to go and check out the source code. Now we'll go and build the new image. We're going to be using the T flag to name our container Linux Academy /weather app non-root, and v1 will be the tag. The Docker file is in the current directory, so we'll be ending this command with a period. Clearly, we've done something right because the container did build. Now execute a Docker container run. This time we want to make sure that we do use the D flag. We'll name the container weather app non-root, and we'll be mapping port 8086 to port 3000 on the container. The container is done deploying, and we can test it by curling localhost 8086. We are getting HTML back, so everything is working properly. Now you're ready to go and deploy out a container using a non-privileged user. Go ahead and mark this lesson complete.